I'll walk you through one more verb conjugation. Now, let's say that I wanted to say, I talk. You know that yo means I, so we already have half of what we need already. Now follow these steps to write the second half of our phrase. Step 1. Look up how to write talk in a Spanish dictionary. You will find the word hablar, which you know is an infinitive because all verbs in Spanish dictionaries are written as infinitives. Step 2. Cut off the AR ending from hablar, because the AR ending means to, which does not fit into our phrase. You now have habl. Step 3. Habl means nothing because it is missing a brain. Use our brain selection chart to determine which brain to sew onto habl. Our chart says that if I am going to use the verb must have an O ending. Attach the O ending brain to the end of habl and you now have hablo. Step 4. Test out hablo in our sentence to see if it makes sense. Yo hablo, or I talk. It makes sense, so we must have conjugated our verb correctly. Not all infinitives, or to plus verb combinations, have an AR ending. For example, the verb meaning to eat is comer. Note the ER ending. The infinitive to live is vivir. Note the IR ending. AR, ER, and IR endings are the only possible infinitive endings. When you take off the endings of infinitives to get rid of the word to, you must look at a different brain selection chart for each one to determine which ending you need to apply to the verb. For example, the brain selection chart for ER ending infinitives is as follows. We conjugate infinitives ending in ER the same way as we conjugate verbs ending in AR. If you wanted to say the cat eats, you would need to find out how to say to eat in Spanish. By looking at a dictionary, you would realize that the word meaning to eat in Spanish is comer. Now, writing el gato comer doesn't make sense because it literally means the cat to eat. To make it make sense, we cut off the ER ending and add a new brain or ending to the word. We know that because the cat will be using the brain, we have to add the E brain or the E ending. We do this and we get come. Put it into our sentence and you get el gato come, which means the cat eats. The endings that you would use for IR ending infinitives are as follows. Notice that the ER ending infinitives and IR ending infinitives have almost exactly the same endings. The only difference in the endings comes in the nosotros and vosotros forms. We conjugate infinitives ending in IR exactly the same way as we conjugate infinitives ending in ER or AR. If you wanted to say the cat lives in Spanish, you would first need to look in a Spanish dictionary for the word to live. You would find that the word to live is vivir. Now, vivir is an infinitive, which is a combination of a verb and to. In this case of vivir, it literally means to live. So we must get rid of that to. So now we will cut off the IR ending to get rid of the word to. Without an ending, the verb means nothing. So look at this IR verb ending chart, also known as the brain selection chart, to find which endings to use. Since the cat will be using the verb, use the E ending, or E brain. You now have vive. Put it into our phrase and see if it makes sense. El gato vive. The cat lives. It works. Now practice this one by yourself. How would you say, I eat, in Spanish? I'll give you a clue. The infinitive meaning to eat is comer. Do the rest yourself and see if you get the correct answer. Hopefully you got yo como, which means I eat. You dropped the ER ending and added the O ending because I am using the verb. Write you live in Spanish. The infinitive, which means to live, is vivir. You should get tu vives. You dropped the IR ending and replaced it with the ES ending. Congratulations, you can now conjugate verbs. The next section will give you more practice on verb conjugation.